Hi guys, welcome back to SuperSteel Gaming. It's Steelarrow with you here, and today I want to get into another video. Now, I think we can all agree that to some extent there are some pretty big flaws with the campaign system in Enlisted, and I think the real question is, what's so bad about it, and why is it flawed? And today, that's what I want to talk about. Now, the first thing it does is it splits the player base by literally 6. We have 6 campaigns, so 6 divisions. And the big issue with that is that you get more bots in one campaign and more players in another campaign, and you get more bots on one side of the campaign, Axis or allies, and vice versa. And what happens, and the reason why this is a problem, is it damages the player's experience. It makes it harder for one side because they have more bots and the bots are not on most players' level. So it makes it harder for them to win a battle. And for the teams that have a bunch of players and not a bunch of bots, it does the exact opposite. It makes it easier to win. And either way, it ruins the enjoyment of the player, because what happens is, for one player, it makes it feel like, this is completely unfair, and then for the other player, it's just boringly easy, and they move on to a different campaign or leave the game. And number two, it makes it much harder for a player to grind through the campaign. It makes it harder to move up in rank, because every battle is unbalanced, especially on your less popular campaigns. Yeah, if you're playing Berlin or you're playing Normandy or even Moscow, you're going to probably find a generally more balanced experience. But on some of the other campaigns, that's just absolutely not the case. So therefore, it makes this on-off experience where how much fun you have and how many points you can make is just based on how balanced the battle you happen to end up in is. Of course, guys, I understand that this is a situation that comes up in a lot of games. The difference I would throw out, though, guys, is that Enlisted's built on it. So for Enlisted to get bigger, it has to strangle itself. So, for example, we have a possible French campaign coming out this year. Nobody really knows yet, but it's rumors. That would be a 7th division to an already divided player base, and that's just a really big problem. You can't keep dividing the player base because eventually you're just going to get to a point where it's just not even fun anymore. Everybody's just fighting bots. So I don't really know what's going to happen if they don't fix that. But yeah, guys, that's just a really, really big problem. Okay, guys, so the third and final thing I want to talk about today is the issue that you have to unlock the same technology multiple times. And not just the same technology, but the same technology in the same style of campaign. So for example, there are 3 Eastern Front campaigns. So you're pretty much, minus a few of the best top weapons, unlocking the same things over and over and over and over again, just in different orders. And I think that's a pretty big problem. And so if you want to play a Eastern Front Berlin, you're going to have to grind up through a bunch of stuff if you want to be even close to good at that. And same with Moscow, and same with Stalingrad. And I just think that's a pretty big issue, especially when we factor in the problems with the progression system. Because the progression system is so hard to work through, you're making an already incredibly difficult grind repetitive, which is just not ideal, because I just think people get tired of it. They get bored with it. They would rather just be able to unlock something once, or at absolute most twice, not 3, 4, and if you're playing German, even 5 freaking times. So in my opinion, guys, that is a major problem. Now, I do want to deliver some good news. I know, guys, this video has been very negative, but we do have a little bit of good news. Now, rumors have begun to spread that the next major Enlisted update may not be a campaign or even a massive content expansion, as it has been pretty much exclusively for as long as I can remember. Quadro actually mentioned this in this video right here, that it's possible that it could be a progression rework. Now, at first, I was kind of on the fence about agreeing with that, but after we got this mysterious dev letter you're seeing on your screen right now that talked about an enlisted roadmap and some classified documents from high command coming over the next little while, I started to wonder if this was actually very possible, and I tend to agree that it is. So guys, we could see a progression rework coming to Enlisted. Now you might be asking me, what in the world does that have to do with this video and the campaign system? Well, three things could happen if a progression rework did come to Enlisted. Number one, guys, we could see if it's big enough and substantial enough and affects the game enough that it takes some of the stress off the issues on the campaign system, in that people may not be quite as upset. It's not quite as hard to grind anymore. So though the player base is still split and we have all the other issues, the issue of having to unlock things multiple times isn't quite as big of an issue anymore. The second scenario is that if it's big enough, we could also see people being a little bit more content in their own campaigns that they're working on right now, being able to go faster, so it may at least temporarily quell some of the issues with the campaign system. And finally, way out there in left field, guys, there's a theoretical possibility that if it was big enough, we could see the campaign system get completely torn down and rebuilt up with a new progression system in mind, which I suppose is theoretically possible, but it would be a massive thing, and I just don't really see enough evidence for that right now, but who knows. Now guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think the campaign system is flawed? Do you think something big is coming to Enlisted? And if you do, what do you think is coming to Enlisted? Let me know. That's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and smash that subscribe button. It would help us out a ton. And make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. This is Steelarrow signing off. I'll see you on the battlefield, soldier.